Yeah. Hello and welcome. I am Joshua, the founder of Agatebay, and you are with me today in the workshop in Dresden, Germany with my beautiful Stone Master saw, which I love a lot because the saw cuts me some beautiful stones. And you might think these are some tiny little agates compared to what I've been cutting on my channel before, but actually these are massive in size for the location where these are coming from, because these are the Alimajo agates from Malawi, also known as the Malawi baby agates, and usually they're in a size of about 1 to 2 inches in size, but this one is almost 3 inches, I would say, which is just exceptional size for this location. And there were some smaller pockets in the wider area of this locale where these larger ones came out, and I'm just calling these Alimajo XL, and that's pretty much for the nodules that are larger than, yeah, I would say close to 2 inches, maybe 1 3/4 inches is what I'm calling these Alimajo XL pieces. There's very little that came out in a size like that, and it was only in some parts of the wider area from the Alimajo mine, but not from the main area where they were coming from. That's why we're separating it into Alimajo XL, and I am pumped to see how these are turning out. It's one of my favorite locations worldwide, and these are so much fun to cut. Yeah, let's get into cutting them and see how good they actually are. Alright, let's get this agate wet, and we do this by just dumping it into the oil, and I can see some white color, a little bit of translucency, and some tiny little bit of red right there. I will cut it somewhat diagonally across here and have one little bit slimmer half on the right side and one little bit thicker half on the left hand side, but still get 2 nice full halves out of it. I'm also calling these agates candy agates because the colors just make you want to bite into them. I mean, look how beautiful the combination is of the white and the orange. Unfortunately, it does have some fractures, and those are small but plentiful. So this is not a piece I will get polished, for myself at least, but I'm sure it will bring some joy to someone. And yeah, let's get right into the next one. I will cut this somewhat parallel to the open window. Because of this dent here that's going into the agate, I will calculate this a little bit further back here. So I cut it out and then also cut here for a little bit smaller half and a little bit bigger half, also just for the reason that I don't want as much quartz in the center of the piece. So if I cut further back in this area, it will be a smaller piece, but it will also have less quartz in the center. Doch ein kleiner Floater. It is in fact a really good piece, and what I really underestimate sometimes is that a lot of these agates actually open up to floaters. So even if you can see some quartz, don't get frustrated by it, because some of them just have another set of banding inside of these little nodgies, and they are just so cute to cut. The white turned more into a bright blue, but the contrast with the red and the blue and the quartz and the floater is a really nice little specimen right here. I hope this one is not changing its mind on me, because look at how beautiful the window it is. Other than that, full nodule. But what I can spot here is this area right there and this little area right here, which is the result of 2 flow channel openings, and I will cut right in between there. So I assume there will be some sort of connection of the flow channel in between here. So I will probably get a flow channel in this area and then just cut for the biggest volume right behind this little bump here, because this area dents in the banding more to that side. So I probably stay about half a centimeter away from that and cut once across here in the middle of the 2 flow channels, and then once across here the entire piece coming back up to where the half centimeter is. I got two beautiful halves out of it. You can see it opens up to this triangular quartz center, and behind the quartz is probably some calcite, but I think it's just been the perfect cut. So one full agatized half, the other one with beautiful symmetry as well, and I think it's a gorgeous specimen. Another beautiful little window in the next agate that's up for cutting. So I will be staying more towards the right side, but this would be the place where I would cut it anyways, because here's where the thickest volume is. If I turn the rock, you can see exactly that I will be cutting through this area right here where the thickest part of the stone is, because usually that's also where the most banding is concentrating. Oh no. Unfortunately, the agate was not holding up to my expectations, and it opened up like this to some pretty ugly quartz and some fractures as well. And I was predicting it would neither have any fractures nor any quartz. So I'm pretty disappointed with this one. But we have two more to go, and maybe I'll take an extra one into the lot as well, just because I want to cut at least one really killer piece for this lot. And yeah, we will make sure this is going to happen, even if I have to cut 10 more pieces. Alright, next one. Another full nice nodgy right here. I will be cutting it right across here like this, a little bit closer to the left hand side, because I can see the volume is a little bit thicker on the left side, and then just cut it right across here like that. I think my expectations are just too high, and that is the reason why I don't deserve to cut good agates. See, another nicely banded piece, but just some fractures running across the specimen, and just not what my imagination was telling me there could be inside. But yeah, we will keep cutting until I finally cut a killer piece. So hang in tight and we will get there. This is the last piece of the original batch, but I may have to cut more if it's not going to be a nice one. But the hopes are high again, so I hope this one's holding up, and I will just cut it once across the specimen like this and hope to finally get a good one. We will keep cutting to keep you entertained, and this is what this one looks like. Gorgeous banding of the red and white and pink, and what's really unique about this one is the pseudomorph in the center of this pair. You can see the original shape, the hexagonal shape of the probably aragonite crystal in the very center of the piece, separating the nodule into these two different chambers. It has a little bit of fracturing, and that's why we have this broken off part here at the bottom and right up there, and also here to the side of it. That's just because of the porosity next to the fractures. There's sometimes little chips that will be falling off right where the fracturing lines are. But other than that, only this small fracture up here and to the side right there. But it is a pretty good piece. I have to admit that, just not the killer piece I was dreaming of, and that's why we keep cutting. Look at this one. What do we have here? Yeah, I can see just a little window over here. Other than that, nothing really much to take care of. I will cut it right across the biggest volume across here, and then pretty close to the window, so we will be guaranteed to finally get a killer piece. Alright, let's not talk about this one too much. I'm just opening it up. It's not a bad piece, but not good enough. You can see the fracturing line here and in the other half, and another fracturing line up top here in this area. So still not the one killer piece I was hoping for. So I think we just gotta keep cutting until we find the very good one. This is hopefully the last nodule, otherwise it will be a long video for you to watch. I can see a beautiful window up here with some super saturated orange color, and I will cut it close to this area because you can see the volume is the thickest here, so I will put it in the vise like this and cut it once around this axle. A lot of these Alimajo agates, you can actually see it in the shape of the nodule. They have like a flat bottom, and that's sometimes where you will have a layer of brown carbonate that's settled at the bottom of this layer. And that also happened with this piece. So you can see here, that's the brown carbonate settlement. Up top it's got some beautiful agate, especially with these dendrites that formed on top of one of these layers. And let's call it a decently nice one and say we will give one more agate a chance, and then let's call it a day. So just one more piece, and that will be it for the Alimajo cuts for today. I can see this is a really nice one with the broken off window here on the entire face of the specimen. It's got another nice window here where you can see the same colors are matching with the orange and yellow, and I will probably cut a little bit diagonally right across this big bump right here, and then come back next to this window and go back across here. Der ging schnell. Yeah, this is actually a really beautiful piece. Yeah, I think we can take a resume for all of these, and I think I can actually be quite happy with what I've been cutting. I think I've just been misguided with my expectations, but I will get over it. My expectations have been really high, and I have been cutting more than 10,000 agates from this location alone in the last few years, so that's why I know how incredible some of these agates can be, but I also know not every agate will turn out exactly the way you are thinking it may be, but obviously these are great agates to cut and just fantastic material. I mean, you can see how different each agate is in this lot. All different colors, all different sorts of banding, beautiful contrast, just gorgeous material to cut, and overall it is in fact one of my most favorite locations I have ever cut any agates from, just because every single stone is just so full of surprises, and the color intensity some of these stones have is unmatched, and just gorgeous details with the chromatography or floaters or pseudomorphs in rare cases. So overall I think I can be really happy. Still, I'm waiting for the one killer piece. But you can head over to my website, because not only these pieces will be for sale right away as you're heading over there, but you can also check for all other Malawi agates or any other kind of stones that are available on my website right now. And I'm sure if you love agates, you will find some incredible pieces for your collection. So make sure to check out my website right after you watch this video. And if you did enjoy it for some reason, even if we didn't cut that killer piece, still leave it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also check out my earlier videos that I posted, because I currently probably have like 50 different cutting videos, not only for Malawi agates but for all different kinds of materials. So make sure to check out all of my videos out if you have some spare time in the winter or in the summer as well, and I'll see you soon again. Goodbye.